Hi, I'm Dan from Make It There. So if you've decided to start searching for a job, congratulations! Best decision ever. But then comes the big scary question. What job could I even do? Self-doubt immediately starts to take hold and you're terrified of getting in over your head. No shame. We all are. Finding the right job can feel overwhelming for anyone, but when you have a disability, it can come with extra layers of uncertainty. For example, you might be wondering, what kind of work fits my abilities? Will employers understand my situation? Will they be willing to accommodate me? What pathway do I take and how long will it take me to make it there? These are all legit questions. You should be asking them. The good news is that there is a process to figure this out, and it's one you can learn and repeat throughout your life. So today, we'll walk through a simple, practical framework to help you discover roles that are right for you. Let's get to it.
First up, the self-assessment. I'll make this easy. You must ask yourself four basic but important questions. What are the tasks I do well? What tasks do I enjoy doing? What are the tasks I hate? And what environments do I enjoy and what environments do I not enjoy? Let's take them one by one. 1. What tasks am I good at? These are tasks you're naturally good at, and those you've developed through experience, education, training, or even hobbies or volunteer work. Think of skills you can execute in your sleep, things you've always been told you're good at, activities you can execute with confidence. Take some time with this. Keep adding to the list until you run out of things. Be practical and realistic. 2. What tasks do I enjoy doing? Hopefully, most of the tasks in list 1 will also be on list 2. These are activities you would literally feel pleasant doing. 3, and this is very important, what are the tasks I hate? For example, if you hate dealing with people constantly, or hate tasks that require a lot of reading, that's important information to consider. And finally, 4. What environments do I enjoy and what environments do I not enjoy? For example, you might love being outdoors, so a job at a plant nursery, on a golf course, or even a construction site might be a real option for you, all other things being considered. And while some of you might find being in a small closed space like being in a torture chamber, others may absolutely revel in the coziness a job like that could provide. If noisy areas are a sensory nightmare for you, then a role in a manufacturing environment might not be a good fit, but it might be with the proper accommodations. You can see how important environment is to your overall analysis. It matters a lot, so don't sleep on this. Once you have completed your list, pull in a close family member or friend that knows your struggle and get input from them. People close to you usually have additional insights that you might not see about yourself. Consider carefully what they say and add their ideas to the list if appropriate. And by the way, this is a list you'll keep refining throughout your working years. Now once you have this information, believe it or not, you're in pretty great shape. But let's go the extra mile. Experts recommend taking a formal assessment to identify roles you may be compatible with. Formal assessments are career inventories you can take online that give you feedback on what kinds of jobs you might be best suited for. The O*NET Interest Profiler is a great example. It is both user-friendly and accessible, and it doesn't take all that long to complete. In my opinion, it does a pretty good job ruling out occupations that probably wouldn't be good job targets for you. I'll leave a link to it down in the description section. You can take it anytime, day or night, no fee, and no appointment needed. On to step 2, research. Your assessment results should lead you to 2 or 3 roles you actually may want to try. Write them down and begin researching each of them, focusing on actual job duties. Here, chatbots like ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, and Perplexity are great resources to get detailed job descriptions. You can use a general prompt like, provide a detailed job description for a teacher's aide at a middle school, or what is a normal workday for an assistant in a veterinary clinic like? Or, what is a job description of an administrative assistant at a college? Be very specific. Indeed also has great position-specific information. But don't stop with just internet research. Get out in your own community and observe these roles in action if possible. Study them carefully. Talk to people that work that type of job. The more you know about it, the greater your chances of success in the role. Finally, step 3 is the reality check. Okay, you've identified roles that may be right for you. You've looked carefully at the job requirements of the role. Now, we're facing down the 2 big elephants in the room. The first one is, can I perform the essential functions of this role? And the second one is, how might my disability keep me from performing these essential functions? Let's take these one by one. 1. Can I perform the essential functions of this role? To answer this question, you're literally taking the information from the task I'm good at list you made in step 1 and doing a side-by-side comparison with the job requirements you obtained during the research phase. How many of the tasks would you be able to perform with or without reasonable accommodations? The gravity of this question cannot be overstated. Everything else hinges on it. My opinion is that you need to be able to perform at least 70% of the job requirements. Let's not lose the plot. The whole point of being an employee is to contribute to the productivity of the organization by performing the tasks on the job description. The company is going to need that work done. So now is the time for brutal honesty, because you want to be in the best possible position to succeed. Now, if you're not quite slaying the requirements for the job yet, just hatch a plan to scale up your skills. Remember, you're in charge of your own timeline. Which brings me to number 2, which is how might my disability keep me from performing the essential job requirements? This is a question that logically leads to even more questions like, which aspects of the job might be difficult given my disability? Can these challenges be addressed through accommodations? If so, what specific accommodations would I need in order to succeed? Are these accommodations reasonable and commonly available? Can I accommodate myself? Have others with similar disabilities succeeded in this role? I know, that was a lot of questions. A variable question point. But you absolutely must ask and answer them to increase your chances of making it there. Your opportunity to do that role may hang in the balance. So again, you should be able to perform the essential job requirements. It's okay if you need accommodations to do it, but the accommodation you need to meet the performance requirement has to be within reason. If your accommodation is not, your overall capability of performing in that role comes into question. And then 3. If you're unsure about what the standard accommodations are for a person with your disability working in a particular job, you're in luck. There are resources that can help you with this. Check out the Job Accommodations Network at www.askjan.com for examples of actual accommodations employers are providing in the workplace. Remember, employability is a journey. We all have different timelines and make progress at our own individual rates. If you're not quite there yet in your readiness for a particular role, no worries. Identify these areas of weakness and create a plan to address them. Whether small steps or large steps, consistent effort will eventually land you there. Hopefully, I've covered the basic steps for identifying roles that may be right for you. Here's a recap. 1. Conduct a self-audit using appropriate assessment tools. Consider your own strengths and preferences. Enlist the help of family or close associates to ensure objectivity. 2. Research roles and find out job specifics. You can use the internet, chatbots like ChatGPT, which are a great resource to get detailed job description information. Talk to people who are actually in the role. Better yet, go out and observe people working in the role in your local community. And finally, 3. Do a reality check to determine whether the role is a realistic option by considering how many of the core job tasks you can competently perform with or without reasonable accommodations.
Friends, the discovery phase can be quite an adventure. But by the end, you won't just have a vague idea about your employability options. You'll have the receipts, an actual list of roles to target. If you need additional help, contact an American Job Center near you. Every state has one. Here in South Carolina, it's called SC Works. Check them out at www.scworks.org. I'll also put this information in the description. Next up, Chase Your Next, Part 2. Prepare. Don't miss it.